You're not happy. You're just enduring it. Then sometimes, luckily, love might come in the way and you fall in love with each other. But rare cases
that it works that way.
that it works that way. So for me, then parents, I believe that you shouldn't arrange your marriages for your children. Rather, place them
Position
in
them.
yes, position them. Let them get to meet themselves on their own volition. So if sparks fly, Daddy told us a story that his mom tried to arrange him with her friend's daughter, and he tried it, but it didn't work out. And what happened? They didn't go all the way
Anymore.
and you get it. So it was not forced. So I feel that if you want your son to get married to this person's daughter, just put them in the same situation. See how it plays out between them. So for me, arranged marriage is something I don't really subscribe to. Yeah.
Okay, let's hear you, Bright.
Oh well, arranged marriage. It's many sides to it. First of all, I will always say that on the conditions attached to the arrangement,
Yeah.
the values around the arrangement is another thing to consider, because a lot of people will say, let's just arrange this marriage because that happens to be the last resort. You've been trying this thing, they work, so you know what, let's go on ourselves and see. I've seen somebody that also is in the same situation as you. Let's see if both of you can come together and agree, and then just since both of you are suffering in this situation, so maybe you guys would understand and sympathize with each other and just accept to be in a marriage situation. And at the end of the day, we forget that once a problem is solved, another one may evolve. Yeah, and most times if these marriages are not arranged, because I know that in the kingdom, in an ideal kingdom, in an ideal system of the kingdom, marriages are actually sort of arranged, in the sense that these people are cultured to have a particular mindset, a particular understanding of royalty. So you have to look for someone who also has the same system and have grown in the same system. Now, I would have said that is better for us, but in this case, if that's what the ideal system is in a royal system, I hope I'm not if that's the system there, it means that you can actually position a child or someone you believe to get married to a certain kind of person, and position them by raising them to think and to be in the light of what you want them to attract. You want them to be very rich, wealthy, have a very wonderful husband that is rich and wealthy. Let her be rich and wealthy. Raise her to be that. You want her to be very loving, admirable, caring and all that. Raise him to be like that. So you're not just expecting someone who is going to be a burden to somebody. If you raise an asset, give an asset to an asset. If you raise a liability, give a liability to a liability.
The annoying thing about these arranged marriages, this is not even values that are most times. In the past.
Yes.
Core values.
So I was saying that there are values, family values that you can say, okay, this is what our family was
Trying to
built on. So because your family is built on a certain value, you know that you want that value to be sustained. So basically you're thinking about the next generation. You're not just even thinking about the marriage. So marriage is a tool for the next generation. So you say, you know what, we'll build these values, we'll become this. We're not like these days, you say there is no thief in our house. Because thief had to be the biggest crime at the time.
Yes.
So there is no thief, there is no armed robber. So you know that, okay, you know what, we are not thieves in this family. So you want to get to a family who are not also thieves. It's easier that way, but where we've lost value in our society and in the system, and we're doing matchmaking, we're now raising societal challenges in the name of let's just get married and wear rings, and at the end of the day, people can now say, and the funny thing, there are people who actually wear rings for jobs. I say, visit me, let them know that you're my wife, I'm going to pay you this amount of money, and after a while we're just going to divorce quietly and everybody goes. So a lot of things are happening this time, and in the sense of marriage is a very, that's how they call it the other day. I attended marriage last week, my wedding last week. It's a sanctimonious stuff. It's supposed to be revered, it's supposed to be honored. But these days, the way people go around it, that's why it's easy for people to just, I'm done. and I want to go.
Because
So,
you did not.
because there was nothing, you didn't pay a price to be in that position. So you just feel that because you're married, then what? It's not then what situation. A married person went through a process
Yes.
to be married. And if you don't know the process, start the relationship and see how it goes.
Okay, yes. For me, arranged marriage, I've also not been a big fan of it because I have experienced 1-2 of those marriages and they didn't quite turn out well. And it's one of them. It's either there's really no love, or there's one is being subjected, or you see one struggling to be
meet up.
to be in the relationship because there's something we are trying to preserve, a relationship and all of that, blah blah blah. Yes, so I've not been so big on. I feel that, like I think you were saying that if you want a responsible girl, you train your son to be responsible. Now I'll take that through another turn. If you want your child to marry, say you have a daughter and you want your daughter to marry an upright man, I think you should imbibe those qualities in her and sharpen her enough to be able to see that kind of man, right? To be able to, the thing is, these days we don't even, you can't tell what you will attract.
There's no attraction.
Yeah, people.
There's no definite attraction.
Yes, people get attracted to darn things as darn as fingernails. You get? So
she says okay.
Yes. Oh, yes, that's exactly. People are attracted very little things, mundane things. They get carried away by these things, right? So you are not responsible for what somebody finds you attractive, attractive for or gets attracted to. But what you can control is, I want my child to be able to see a man that is upright, and now let those values be the relationship or be the reason she'll be in a relationship. I think I and Danny Sukre we were watching a video online about a couple of girls, middle age and all that, having conversations, 20s, having conversations about a girl has a man for everything. The one that gives her money, the one that just wants, to entanglement, the one that just is there for emotions. These are the things. And he was saying we need to be careful about the things that we let into our system. Yeah. Because these things are just everywhere on the internet. Everybody just comes and spills gibberish, and whatever they want. They just and then suck it in. You get it. And so yes. So if see the value, see what is the basics of what they are looking for in relationship. Money, money can fade. While he's making money, I can make money too, right? Money can finish. You need qualities that will stand the test of time. When age is no longer on your side, there's no more beauty, there's no handsomeness anymore, there's none of those things anymore.
You look at companionship.
You need to look for the things that will keep you in the together. Time of the rough, right? So you need to, if you want your child to marry a good man, I don't believe in arranging a good man to marry. It works for some people. I'm not even going to lie. It works perfectly for some people. But for some, it doesn't work out. And I would rather you do not even, you know why it doesn't even work out for some people again? Because they just arrange them. They don't even get to talk to each other. They just know that our parents want us to marry, and so we are just going to.
Sorry to come in. Where you said it works for some people, it doesn't work for some people. Do you know that most of the people who the stuff worked for, they didn't just give themselves away because they felt that they're in a relationship.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. Of course, yes.
They are seeing value to the degree that they are valuable. In the sense that maybe somebody came in and like, okay, I have this friend of mine. She's very good. She's this. She's that. It's easier for us to spot because I know this person, so I know what kind of value fits this person.
And sometimes you that is trying to make your friend, you don't really know your friends. Most of you don't really know your friends. You bring a lady and say, my guy is my guy. I've known him since childhood. Your guy is garbage.
The guy is
your guy is garbage. You don't even know him. Yes, my guy is this. You guys are just doing guy on the surface. You guys don't even know each other. Yes, and then you not carry the poor dirty suffer now.
I take the exception. I know my guys.
Yeah, that's it's good when you know your guys.
Yeah, but do you know that some people actually by themselves arrange marriage for themselves?
How does that happen?
You look at a guy and you tell yourself, this is what I want, a tall guy, he has money,
mundane things.
This. So whatever it is, you don't care again. So you find a way of arranging yourself,
positioning.
Yes,
you know, we actually talked about shooting your shot
for that person. Here you are, you don't have the qualities that you want in a person, or you want it from another person, and now by the time you get married, you begin to give headache to this person because you are not giving, you are not valuable. You don't have any value, no core value.
Person.
And the person maybe in the beginning endures. You know what happens when you are pushed to the wall? You have to come back.
Outburst.
And then outburst.
Then you tell yourself this person has changed. Well, you've not
you didn't change.
You see,
you didn't change. So the goal of marriage is actually not to change anybody.
It's more.
The goal of marriage is not to change anybody.
You know, I always say this thing.
Yes.
Your mother that gave birth to you, she couldn't change you.
Then after you're molded,
you know, there are exceptions to these things. Of course, we'll keep place for exceptions. There are people that because they love somebody and they know that yes, a certain attitude of that gets to
why they need to
gets to hurt the person. You know, my wife does not like to see me like this. My husband.
But it becomes an extreme where my wife doesn't like to see me like this, but other people experience me like that.
No. Yes, that is different. Yes, but you know, when my wife doesn't like to see me like this, in fact, she doesn't like this part of me. I'm trying to consciously work on the fact that I love my wife and I don't want to lose what we have. You get? So you know, these things, it makes it easy for you to even say I want to live with this person, but don't see somebody that is completely absolutely badly behaved, badly raised, and then you say you want to change that person. So on what grounds?
Yes, that's a mistake from the beginning.
The other side of it is that a lot of times we would always want to say, okay, parents, how far parents? Some parents have tried their best, you know.
Of course.
Some parents have actually done their best to see how they can actually bring an adult, but now this is an adult who have will, decisions, ego, and pride at the same time, and sometimes arrogance, because some level of pride comes with arrogance. Now you just feel that, you know what, I've been in my life, like how people say it's my life. You know, there are people who tell you that it's my life, I live it the way I want. And it's my life. Now you're living it the way you want, but you're trying to bring somebody into that same life.
Imagine
a life that you know that you're not really so much in the real sense, you're not really proud of, but you want to bring somebody into it. And now we have this situation where somebody says, okay, you know what, let you guys marry, then for what? I think that's the question we always need to ask. Why do I need to get married to this person? And the person cannot give you an answer is because the person doesn't even know why the person is matchmaking
and
you.
I tell you, sometimes the person that they are even matchmaking you with is a good person. It doesn't necessarily have to be a bad person. The person might be good, but not good for me. Right? There's a certain there's a certain way I like to be loved. Right? You know, people have love languages. You know what they uphold. Well, and sometimes you even have to learn how somebody likes to be loved. So that you can love. I'm a firm believer of, you know, why in this relationship, am I loving you the way that everything just in my head? Because
sometimes people go to Google. You go and Google to know how to like somebody that's just in front
of you that you can ask. You know, sometimes I think that, have you not met people that they really like to cook, they really like to do all the house things, and they meet somebody that doesn't even really care. Why are you cooking? I don't like to eat. Can we just buy something? You know, so that is how you know how to express love. But the other person that they are arranging you for or arranging you with, you need to know how what this person is. So I suggest that, you know, sometimes when our parents want to do this matchmaking, or your friends or whatever, you ask them, okay, I appreciate the fact that you have seen somebody that is good and all of that, but I need to know if this person is good for me. Like, this is the conversation that we don't have about this arranged marriage thing. It's not a bad thing. I keep saying
it's not
a bad thing.
But the processes have to be, the processes cannot be negated. It's just like what we had, the conversation we had last, because even if you arrange a marriage for somebody, you still have to go through the processes. Let them get to meet themselves, let them get to, you know, relate with themselves, if it's possible or not, if it's effective. If it's not effective, then you just go for good. Hey, hi, thank you, bye.
These days, if somebody even if somebody even links you up with another person saying this person fears God, you even really need to know.
I know that there are people who God fears.
God, the person tells you this person really fears the Lord. I need to know how you fear the Lord.
There are people who God fears, man, because
you see people do very crazy things, and then they come on the internet and be like, I love the Lord Jesus, He's everything. I need to know how you love the Lord. Is it an internet liking of the Lord?
Is a social media
liking? Yes.
Yeah, where you take pictures of you worshiping and then like
you don't even need to tell me you love the Lord. If you love the Lord, if you love God, I will see it in the way you attend to people, to me. I'll see it in the way you speak to me. I'll see it in the way you do your things generally. So this love for God is not about quoting 90, 100 scriptures in 10 minutes or in 10 breaths. Those things are fruits of the Spirit that you will exhibit. But there are some that needs to be inside you.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Embedded as a culture.
Yes. Of course, let's not have all these conversations on our own because it gets interesting and we want to. Yeah, but yes, you can call us and let us know what you think about arranged marriages. Is this something you'll be willing to try, or is this something? Is it a complete no for you? Let us know why. The numbers to call are 090-7353-0044 or
090-8766-8888.
Your reactions, of course, are welcome on WhatsApp on
090-9705-4450.
Okay, so that's the phone lines. We declare the phone lines open.
They're open.
Yes, so they're open. Let's know what you think. Would you subscribe to an arranged marriage? Do you frown completely at arranged marriages? And let us know why you are not doing that.
But do we also understand that sometimes, because you're married, a little bit of us, you know you're married, and then you can tell from the first few years of your marriage to this time now, there has been some shift. Marriage changes with time. The needs change with time. The relationship needs change.
Step. At first you're a couple, just told you. Then later the kids come in.
Yeah.
When the kids come in, it's time for raising of the kids. So like you said, there's always a shift, and you always have to
adjust with the happenings in the marriage. Well, that's where a lot of people are missing, because what you arranged for was for marriage. In terms of wedding, a lot of people are actually arranging people for wedding, and not really for marriage.
Exactly.
Not really for marriage.
Totally different.
Because I've seen, being who I am in terms of relationship and coaching and all that. I've seen a lot of people, basically couple, who said that, you know what, I'm quitting this because he has changed. And I'm like, what do you mean by he has changed? And I'm like, okay, you know what, I'm doing everything alone. I was like, so if you're doing everything alone, who provides the resources? He's very good at providing the resources and everything, and I am seeing myself taking care of the kids alone. I'm like, okay, you know what, he supports you with what you need to take care of the kids. Did you people talk about this when you were having your relationship and all those dating periods? Did you talk about raising? Because these are things that, you see, relationship is not about for where you are. It's for your future.
Of course.
So if you don't talk about future things, you're wasting the relationship.
Of course.
So I can easily jump out and get angry already, because a lot of people actually, just if you need to eavesdrop, go to an eatery and just eavesdrop. you feel like getting a whip and say, that's not the question to ask. Ask another one. Ask another one. What kind of question is that? And those things are, because let's not forget that we're dealing with destinies here. You give birth to children, those children begin to watch you and feel that you are the expert, you're the best person to tell them about anything that has to do with this and this. And if we are not really pushing for the future, then we shouldn't be getting together, because when we get together, we'll produce something that happens to the future.
Yes.
You see, so if we're arranging a marriage or arranging a wedding, we must tell the people the truth. This thing I'm arranging for you will affect your next generation.
Of course.
So before you even start saying let's go out, be ready to discuss things. In fact, your value system must be in check. That's why I say it's maturity.
The thing that is even there are some families that everybody knows them around. Like these ones, they're upright and all that. Again, I'm not saying it's not possible that everybody in that family can be upright. I'm not saying, I'm not a doubting Thomas. For your best interest, please, the person they are arranging you with, find out about that person.
For who the person is.
Our collective family identity is not our personal
actually, it's
identity.
a reputation.
Yes, there are things that the perfect family, there are things that happen in the perfect family that is not in the image of the public. So perfect is relative.
There was at some point I was looking at the family. I should get married in this family. And at the end of that, I looked again. I saw the people who were married in the family. I don't like the way these people are. I don't like, the family is good, but the people that were married into the family are not really getting themselves. Like they're restricted. It's like, this is our thing. We brought you in, and I'm like, no. I don't like the feeling that these people are having. So I don't want to be called into this. I'm like, no. You see, it's one thing, like what you were saying, the individuals, the system they've created, and all that. And if you're married and you're not really expressive of yourself, then it means that there is a problem. I'm not saying leave the marriage, but I feel that there is a big problem.
Whether you are married or not, I feel that the day you stop being expressive is the day that you die. See, when I was growing up, I did not know, I wasn't expressive at all. I was a very shy person, because very shy and probably very timid. Most times in class,
we all were actually timid.
You get, most times in class they ask this question, you already know the answer,
and you can't. Yours was even easy. Mine is, let me tell you mine. Sorry to cut you. Mine is that the teacher says, "Are you done with this part of the board? I want to clean this side," and I know I'm not done,
because everyone says
I cannot, because everybody say yes, they clean, and you know what, I turn the next leaf and I keep doing that. My note was never complete.
Do you get? So sometimes I was trying to say something.
You were talking about timidity and all that.
So I was very timid. I could not speak up, but you see, those things, I realized something about that time. I was very hostile,
aggressive,
extremely aggressive.
That's your defense mechanism.
But yes, because anybody that approaches me, I in my mind, you want to come and take advantage of me, You think I've seen Momo, that's what is in my head all the time. But the moment I became expressive, people knew that, you see this boundary, if it is matter, don't cross it.
Because you could
I've already said it. So there's no need for me to be hostile. If you are trying to, there are people that consciously like to talk down on other people, when they are somewhere. It won't work with me, because that thing you are trying to talk down on, I will show you that it's very important. Do you get? So I became expressive. I knew how to take myself out of situations that were going to depress me. Took myself out of situations that were going to make me timid. I don't stay there. The moment you want to make me feel timid because there's something you don't know, there's something you're lacking in, I go back and do my homework. I become badass at it, and I come back. You see these things. So it's not just about marriage. Your single self, how you have been able to form your single self, will now determine
the quality you bring into the marriage. Of course,
do you understand? And the kind of people, what people, like I said, you don't have control over what people get attracted to, right? But I know what I want you to be attracted to.
Well, like you were going to say, that was even what I was going to pick up. I'll be sad if somebody is attracted to me for something I don't see that you should be attracted to me for.
If you are attracted to me because it's good to be fine, to be beautiful and all that, but that beauty is the only thing
that you
see. It's a problem.
No substance.
Beauty cannot be the only thing I came back. It can't be the only thing you came to this one.
Beautiful. I remember when I was going to get married, my father spoke to my husband and said, "This lady you are looking at now, when everything is gone, when her beauty is gone,
still be
there." He asked that question because he said, as you grow old, all these things that you see that is making you go gaga,
butterflies,
if it goes, that is when you
would you want to really
know,
if you want to get married. Now what if this person you're getting married has the hottest of legs and everything, and then some people have had this tragic events and happened, and after a while they had accidents and they couldn't use those legs anymore. And then you hear the same person saying, "You know what? I'm changing my mind.
Work.
You see, that's painful.
Painful.
Because, and it feels like a betrayal, because at that point the person feels that this is where I needed you the most, but this is exactly where you're going now.
This is always the consequence of
because they didn't really, yes, because these are
yes.
things that are ephemeral. When people say, when people say, you know, it's like telling somebody that look for the real stuff, you know, then eventually have the rest of what you're looking out for. They say no. The eyes will eat first before the senses and all of that they eat. So at the end of the day, you realize that these are not things that sustain. These are not things that really sustain marriages. These are not things that sustain.
A guy, I think after 2 days, the morning after the wedding, took his wife to court.
Wow.
Okay, yes, because
okay.
Everything, her eyelashes,
everything,
her boobs, everything was
fake.
He said this is the reason. That was the reason why he got married. Announcing everything is fake. He's no longer interested.
Like what? But we need to take it slow sometimes.
I'm advocating that, like what we're having in the government right now, we should have it also in marriage. That you don't get to say you're not doing until after a particular period of time.
Of course.
Because you shouldn't just wake up one morning and say, you know what, I'm done. There should be number of years agreed by the couple that will first of all stay for this number of years.
If it doesn't work,
then we can move. Because I mean, there's so that will help a lot of people to sit down and think and realize that you're doing business in marriage. You're not just it's not just a play. It's not just because the eateries make it nice and all that. Because without the eateries, the moving here and there, I see somebody who wanted to get married. I'm like, oh, the pictures every day. There's pictures. I was like, I stood well. It was good.
Have you done
but have you carried out due diligence? Because the way you've posted all these pictures and posted the nice things, for me, if I speak on something like that, it'd be like you're a killjoy. You're not really excited.
Yes.
Are you married, by the way? You're like, no, you're not married. And like, no wonder you're being very bitter about this. But the thing is, with all of that, by the time you brought the attention of people to this and make it look like this is very perfect, and when the things are not going as you thought they are, or you planned them to be, it'll be very difficult for you now to take the shame and
now see the same mouth.
Use that same energy to say, you know what, this thing is not going the way we thought.
You know why this is funny? Because you see it online every time. Somebody comes and say he's the love of my life. Without him, I can't breathe. He's perfect. He bought me this. He got me that. And when this thing gets sour, they drag themselves for a couple of years, and then all those charade that you put out in the public, everything that you made the people want because you had, everything goes down.
It goes all quiet. And because you can't sustain pretense for a long time.
Of course,
one day it's definitely going to go up, and then you realize that, okay, you know what? This one, in fact, let's go. It's expensive. It's more expensive managing pretense than real life.
Yes.
Because of course you're paying for everything. You're trying to make sure that this is good. I hope this person. Did you see this? Okay, how much do I pay you for you to tell? There's so much going in. And if we really, really care about people, instead of just arranging them for a wedding outfit, really build them, ensure that they are really built. Match people who match themselves. Like if this person is an asset, give him an asset. If it's a liability, give him a very good liability. But the funny thing is that even liabilities want assets.
Yes.
They really want it. Like, I want an asset. I am not an asset, but I want somebody who loves me the way.
But do you know that most times, most people even do these arrangements because one is a liability and one is an asset.
Yeah, I think that's.
But why would you give somebody who is an asset a liability? That cannot work. Except that person is just going to keep enduring for the rest of his life or her life. But there comes a time when he'll meet somebody that fits that position, and then he says, you know what? You're like the wife I've never met, or I wish I met you before I met my wife, or I wish I met you before I met my husband. So that brings up this whole side this and side that, because in the ideal form of relationship, in its truest form, somebody else is a choice. It's a choice. There shouldn't be anybody by the side. Whoever is on the side is somebody who should have been in the place you would have kept them. And again, why do we have people on the side is because when we are building the relation, when we are building the arrangement, you know what it all, when you had the arrangement for them, you didn't make rooms for rooms. In the sense that you didn't make rooms for rooms. There are rooms that you would have to make when this person is going wrong. There are rooms you have to make when this person is actually doing things well and doing them right. And there are rooms you have to make when there is an emergency. And some people don't have that energy. Some people don't have that structure around their relationship. Do you know that there are times when you don't feel like doing even the best things you like to do?
Yes.
So how do you manage that time? And if this person doesn't know what to do at that time, you may lose it. For many months, for many days, there may be times, like for me, I get once you see my room unkempt, once you see my room unkempt, understand that my mind is really not it.
Exactly.
So you're just like, this guy, your room is, what's going on? This is not like you. You just know that something is deeply bothering me, and I'm not really seeing those things as a need or a priority. I'm trying to deal with that. So if I have somebody who is like, no, I can't be with somebody who is, you see, it's a big deal. It's a big deal.
It's true. You need to have provision for rooms.
Yes, provision for rooms. Yes, and if it's not there, we'll just be. And you know why I'm passionate about this whole relationship is because the society is telling on the society what doesn't go well with somebody. Now, there's although this may take us a little bit off the conversation, but notice that there are people who are saying that, you know what, I may not get married, but I'll have children.
So yes.
It's already
so it's becoming a psychology, and I feel it's a psychology for can I say that word, but permit me if it's wrong. I mean, I was going to say losers, because I mean, how do you put yourself in that position? You're mentally okay, you're fertile, everything is going well, and you just feel that I may not get married, I will have children, so I'll just raise them. Two children, you're going to raise children alone. You're going to raise them alone and think that they are going to have the best of it. I mean, let's think far.
I think sometimes for those who make such decisions, maybe they've been involved in a lot of breakups.
It doesn't.
It
doesn't matter what you're because you are going to jeopardize.
If you've been through that, you know what? If you've been through that, then pay the price and be alone.
Of course.
Okay, then just trying to.
Get
someone else.
For God's sake.
You see what we're saying? Sort yourself out
first before you.
Don't heap your garbage on people. You know, I know people go through a lot. There are times each and every one of us here have been through something that has broken us beyond our imagination. There are things I never thought I will come out of, but we're here. We're out of it.
I always
conscious work, conscious effort. Don't dump that on somebody else. And now you now want to console yourself
by creating another problem for somebody else.
You're not going to have children, whether we like it or not. You see, the single parenting thing,
it's a challenge.
We're going to talk about it again. It's a challenge because there's imbalance. God has said man and wife become one, raise children.
They understand what
like you said, sometimes it tells a whole lot on the
yes, it really tells.
I've seen a guy who was solely raised by his mom, and one of his attitudes, the guy is a very bitter person.
Now notice that.
And he got that from his mom.
She was always angry.
The way she was bitter, she was bitter about what she went through to raise him.
Because his father just accepted him when he was 25. So imagine all that.
You see, so it's not okay.
It's a real challenge. So for those people who are just resorting to the fact that they feel that, okay, you know what, after a while I'm just going to get a child and raise a child, it's not the best.
It's a flawed mindset.
What are the values you imbibe in the child?
You know, there are certain things that a man has to impart into the child.
I just think
for the child to see.
Yes.
This is what my father
mother, fire, eyes.
Yeah.
You know, while one is beating you, the other one is telling you your mommy loves you or your daddy loves you, but he has to rod you so that you know that. There are times when you speak to somebody anyhow, like you speak to somebody, you're angry because maybe something happened to you, and then someone else is talking to you. You just go, please leave me alone, and you're all that. When they beat you, then they'll tell you why they have beat you.
Yeah.
Sometimes the mother can be biased. You know, the child is crying, she's already weak. That's the only person I have. This is the only person I have in the whole wide world. I need to, you know, you now pamper the child, and then you keep building things in the child.
There's a single mother I know. It's not like somebody told me. I've seen her. We had to call her. I had to tell my friend to please tell her, you're raising this son the wrong way. In fact, this boy is about 8 years or so. The mom has actually bought the land in his name. Beautiful.
Very nice.
But she is over pampering this boy to a point now that the boy can just come out and he can get angry and leave the house. 7.
Wow.
17 or 17.
Anyways,
7.
I think it's a good place to wrap up this show, because I think we will have this and the other topic for the other hour spilled into, you know, next time. Yes, do not go anywhere. You know, it's Eagles 102.3. I'll be signing out now. It's me, Martha, all through with you from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And I've had Olu Bubus and Bright Young hanging out with me. And, you know, peace as well. So have an amazing day.
All right.
Yes.
Now, back to the music.
Darling, 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 there's no need to worry.